Hello YouTube, Reddit Math here, and we're back with more Absolver. We're picking up in the temple, about to head back over to the little bird collar area. The reason that I backtracked just a little bit is I wanted to kind of re-experience the entry into the area. The shift of time of day and music, all of that sort of stuff. Bird Caller's Outpost. Okay. And I did notice, basically as I stood up from the altar, it's the Bird Caller's Outpost. There is a giant flock of birds going on up there. Again, not what I would call photorealistic, but I think that it, like, looks really cool. I'm getting more and more Journey vibes from playing lately. I have played... Can see you through that gap. I have played a little bit off camera. We're playing offline right now. The servers are having a bit of a conniption, you know, hashtag launch day and all that. But earlier, when servers were online, I got in like 3 PvP games before I had to go to work. I'm now off work back home, and definitely just want to punch some things in the face. That's generally how getting off work works for everyone, right? All right, level up. I can dig it. I spent basically my entire day at work just wishing that I was playing video games. I mean, that's also pretty much how everybody's day at work works, right? I've modified the deck a little bit. I think the one move that is likely, as of yet unseen, is going to be the mill punch. I'll try to demonstrate some mill punch here. Alright, I need to... leather wristbands. Did I just... I think I have leather wristbands. Yeah, I do. Slightly more golden. Stats are the same, purely cosmetic. We'll go with the darker color. Okay, it would be the back right stance. So maybe like this. Nope, that didn't work. But maybe like this. It led into the same elbow, didn't it? Okay, I don't want the elbow. I want... well, I could always just demonstrate it in meditation. And I promise I won't do this every time I get a move, but I actually think the mill punch is kind of cool because it is actually a 2-hit combo. So there's the like spinning back fist, and then the mill punch is a 1-2. So I'm actually getting 3 hits out of that position, which I think is quite cool, and mostly for the hope for the future kind of thing. Like, I would like to see more 2-hit combos on things. I think that would be really cool. It also means that, you know, my counts may be off, that it might be quite possible to get higher than like the 12-hit combo that is theoretically possible, or the 16-hit, I suppose, if you consider all of the alternate attacks that you could then kind of chain together afterwards. I'm not very confident with the sword thing. I suppose it's probably going to have to wait until I'm encountering enemies that are using sword moves against me, because I just don't have very many, and I'm very uncomfortable so far with the deck that I've kind of constructed there. I do know... okay. Let's backtrack a moment. So we came from that way and off to the right. There's another path that leads out to the left. It actually goes back to the hunting path. So these 3 starting areas are all sort of linked together. You can kind of tell that from the map, although, you know, it's a little artistic licensee when it comes to a map. This is going to be our next marked one. I love how they're standing there in like a very intimidating fashion. And it looks like there might also be a trail here, or ow, I promise I meant to dodge when that strike came out. I just did a poor job. Is there a path this way? Either a path or just maybe a well-hidden item. Either way, I'm interested. I did watch some of Devolver Digital's stream, and this is clearly a path to another area because everything is sort of shifting around. Dalian Columberry. Ooh, I don't think I ever saw this. Oh, it takes us up to the birds. I don't know what a columberry is. Is that like a birdhouse? Somebody let me know in a comment. But I did watch some of Devolver Digital's like pre-release stream content, and they actually spent a fair amount of time in this area. Not the columberry, but the bird caller's outpost. So I've seen the fight with this marked one, and I've seen people get the crap kicked out of them by this marked one. So, you know, super looking forward to it. I think I'm actually going to go ahead and shield up for the start of this fight, and we'll immediately break our weapon. Amasaba. They certainly look cool. The hood I am down to get myself. Oh. Did I end up kind of breaking their AI where they're like chained back to the middle and I was just... Ooh, that was a fancy hop. And I was just sort of abusing them there? I'm not sure. But I got like a hell of a combo in, right? With, well, they're about to pay me back for that. With a flurry of blows there for a while. They seem to be very... dig it. Seem to be very windfallish. Is that what's going on here? They keep fainting at me, though. I would love to see... I actually wouldn't mind having that knee. Yeah. I'm trying to check and see if there's anything in this moveset that I want. And so far... meh. So far, meh. I think that little plus symbol might have meant that that was my first time seeing that move, that it was being added to... there's something. It was being added to my list of attacks and not just gaining experience. Well, definitely the Windfall boss, right? I don't think there's really anything that she has to teach me about how to punch things. I mostly want to know how to punch things. Or elbow things. I'm okay with elbowing things too. I did learn Exhaust though. And Ramawashi. Ramashi, I think, was the proper number of syllables there. Alright, definitely something up. I didn't really, this area seems maybe a little bit smaller, or just, maybe just not as maze-like, right? Like if this center path had been, never mind, had been blocked off and you had to like wander around, that'd make it a little bit more like the temple was, where you couldn't just go straight in. Oh, okay. And, you know, speak of the devil, there's some loot right here. Whoa! Okay. Okay. Forest Dweller gloves. We'll maybe check those out in a moment. This guy's looking very cult. Does have a punch to teach me. A couple of punches to teach me. That is looking good. Oh, that's a problem. Maybe we shouldn't play around with him too much. Oh, that's gonna sting. Actually, didn't take any fall damage from that, thankfully. Again, I've got competing urges every time I encounter someone, where I want to learn everything that I can from them, but then at the same time I'm like, that's gonna get fairly boring fairly quick. Instead, let's just beat them to death. Alright. now that you're taken care of. A little anticlimactic. I've definitely seen people struggle way harder with that marked one than I did. I think the fight went pretty well. Again, I'm not sure if it was because I might have like abused the chain on their AI a little bit at first. It was not intentional. I actually thought we were gonna fight outside, right? Like they ran to me. Ooh. Okay, and this area is a little bit bigger than I realized. I don't think I ever saw anyone come up here again in that sort of pre-release stream phase. Okay, let's maybe not. I do want to point out how fluid it feels to attack things, that you are not locked onto. Actually feels very natural and okay. And very easy to sort of bounce back and forth between opponents to keep them off balance, like so. Where you can sort of just bounce around in the ring of characters, even though you're locked onto one. That just sort of determines what the camera angle looks like, but you're easily able to attack the guy that's behind you. Of course, the big problem is really that they're abusing my stamina a bit more than I can stand. That's what I needed. One-on-one, it's going to be a little bit easier to manage our stamina against these guys, and hopefully gain back a little bit of HP that we lost. There we go. Almost a full. Almost a full. Chief Pants. This guy was having like a meltdown in the middle of that clearing, but appears to have regained their composure. What do we got out here? Is it Karen? Forest Dweller boots. I can dig it. Yeah, I never actually saw somebody come up here. So I had always thought that just that ground floor kind of area was the extent of this. Oh, is that a shortcut back, or can we come up from there? This guy's looking a little ragged compared to his compatriots. And is back to all moves that I know. I think that was stuff I've all seen. Maybe not. Those felt like back-to-back haymakers. Big swing. No, that's a spinning. Yeah. Okay. I don't think you have anything to teach me. This pot's deserved it. Oh, I just like totally missed this. I didn't go this way. I went straight ahead. Okay, I'm just directionally challenged then. There's actually quite a bit of interconnecting stuff. I just sort of walked straight forward and encountered the boss fight. Okay, that's cool. This is a lot larger than I thought it was. I'm down for that. Now, after doing effectively this entire area in kind of reverse order, let's head back over to where we defeated the marked one and exit from here, because I believe... falling damage. So I believe there is an exit this way out of the area. Oh, hello. Nice duck. I can give... Oh, come on. I can give praise where praise is due. That was a very fancy duck that you did. I have learned I do generally like having these kind of... had way more range than it had any right to. I do like having these sort of spinning elbows on my back foot positions. It punishes really nicely for anybody that dodges to the side. You're a little bit closer to that ledge than I had originally realized. You know, somebody dodges around to your left or to your right, and then you immediately respond with a spinning elbow in that direction. It's a fairly quick move and catches people right after that. Oh, again, and connected. Okay, we could have just gone around this way. But there was another path, which I almost fell off the cliff of. Oh. Oh. Well, hello. You'll have to learn more attacks if you want to survive. I agree. I completely agree. If an unknown attack hits your guard, you'll start learning it. Really? Really? This is the tutorial moment that we're at? If you use your combat styles ability against that attack, you'll learn it even faster. I mean, maybe that's a tidbit. But if you are defeated or flee combat, you'll lose all of this experience. Victory is the only path to acquiring knowledge. Alright, well thank you, friendly man, but it feels... Oh, yeah. I just wanted the cairn, if you don't mind. I mean, you're nice and all, but loot, right? But loot. I see the open cairn prompt. I know it exists. Forest Dweller Pants. There we go. Okay, so all that was back here was in the cairn. Oh, I thought this led to something. Apparently I'm mistaken. So, from here we have paths back to the hunting path as well as the Forgotten Temple, and then up to our aviary thing. But yeah, as far as a teaching moment, it just feels like, yeah, this is like the third area. We fought multiple bosses. I would hope that you would have modified your deck by now and like had some basic concept of how you were learning new moves. Oh well. Oh well. Maybe I'm doing things totally wrong. Like, is that a... No? Okay, just leaves. I thought there was a bird flapping on the ground. Medallion Columberry. Well, that's an interesting bird statue thing. Maybe I'm doing things completely wrong. I saw a comment online earlier today that was, you know, the game only has 2 hours of gameplay. I'm like, I'm way more than 2 hours into it right now, and I've only beaten 2 of the bosses. And the response was to get good. I'm like, I've only died once, and it was because I didn't realize that I drowned in waist-deep water, you know? So, I feel like I'm making pretty good progress. Although I'm saying this as I'm like slowly walking up a set of stairs. Clearly, I probably take more time to take in the game than your average player might do. This is a little creepy, like Alfred Hitchcocky in certain regards. Oh, okay. And that might have a lot to do with what's going on, as far as why it's taking me longer than it might take some. Is that, well, you gotta have bird poop, obviously. Okay, we've got an interact prompt. I'm assuming that's gonna warp us away. Let me poke around for just a little bit. You know, so I may be taking a little bit, yeah, like an altar seems like a real good idea. I may be taking a little bit more time to take in the sights than your average person would, but I don't feel like I'm going that slow. Forest Dweller gloves. Oh, that's pretty cool. A lot lighter. Said that by holding out their hands and whistling, forest druids could call out animals to land on these delicate gloves. They were apparently also Disney princesses. Let's stand. Ended up going barefoot as far... That's not what I intended to press. As far as a Fashion Souls option. Because all of the shoes just look sort of meh to me. I'm a Kung Fu master. I can be barefoot. Mostly used during gathering ceremonies, but are surprisingly solid and offer good protection. And pants. Oh, that won't do at all. That's not awful. Ceremonial attire. wool number of folds indicated the role of the one wearing it. But I mean, I think this is still better. Okay. Is that all of our equipment? We still have a little... Oh, right. Shield, we learned exhaust. Enemies consume more stamina for their actions during 15 seconds. Affects nearby enemies. I think I'm going to keep it to shield for now. I think earthquake might be better, but I'm a little on the fence there. If I start a fight with enough to immediately use a power, starting with shield on, I feel like could be a pretty big advantage. So I'm thinking just the fight is here. I'm kind of curious, where does this attach to, though? Some area that we've just not yet been to? Seems so. Can I get an area name? Can I get an area name? Can I get an area name? Is this a tower that we could get to from the opening area as well? Does it link back to that? Tower of Adal. Okay. Let's not do that right now. Looking at the time. So we did take out one area in this game. Let's go ahead and pop into the interact prompt and see what that is all about. We might get into one of our boss fights. Like maybe we consider the Mark 1's mini bosses. This is our first boss. I think there's, I don't know, there was a big plot dump, right? 9 total bosses. Does that seem correct to everyone? 3 to do 7 and 8, and then like there's one final boss, I think, might be the thing. Ooh, cutscenes. We're being watched.
Nil defet erleg Betlem.
Konika jut besom oi. Ilindi vectum, sir.
Her honor nosem gallop.
Okay, interesting. And moves that I've never seen before. Okay, so we get the 2v1. These were the were brothers and sisters that were fighting. They don't get a name above their heads. That's disappointing. And I wonder if you can do this in multiplayer, or because of the interact prompt, if this is like instanced and this is always a 1v2. I'm mostly looking to keep you two apart and deal with you one-on-one. As much as I praise that earlier ability to fight multiple opponents at the same time, I'd like to avoid it if at all possible, at least for this particular fight. We're just gonna block while your sis walks up behind me. Is that... let her fight all your battles? Okay. Let's reposition for a moment. Oh man, they will just immediately also break into a run to chase you. They're not interested in letting you get that far away. Huh. Does it seem like as soon as the health of one dips below the health of the other, they trade off which is the aggressive one? That's what seemed like happened to me. Was that as soon as I knocked her health down below her brother's, her brother attacked and she started blocking. If so, I mean, that's a really pretty simple and elegant way to design a two-person boss like this. I can get behind that. That stung a bit. Yeah, because once they go all defense on you... did he just pull out a... Yep, they both just pulled out swords. Well, I was just saying, I need somewhere that I can learn some sword moves from. Yeah, that felt good. That haymaker ignores the first incoming attack and just goes right on through it. It's a good finisher because of it. Ow. Oh, come on, man. The real problem with trying to learn sword moves, of course, is that they do a ton of chip damage, being blade attacks instead of blunt attacks. You can't just stand there and block against them. Nice. Very nice. Ooh. I just learned me some curved swords. And a new attack slot was unlocked. Unlock at Combat Trials level 20. Oh, I see. Cargill and Kilnor level 2, so I can come back and fight an upgraded version of these, but only after doing some PvP to get my Combat Trials up to level 20. I mentioned doing PvP earlier. That was all in the open world, not like the queuing system. So that specifically needs you to come over to an altar and queue up for the Combat Trials. I can't access them right now because I'm playing offline. And I can't play online right now because the servers are down. What I'm trying to figure out, though, is... how do I... oh, I've got to equip the weapon. Oh, cool. So you're deciding here, like, which sword you're going to pull out. So this is... damage by attack style. S, B, C, and S. So that's Forsaken, Windfall, Cult, and Stagger, I believe. So my Cult style is the worst of them with weapons. Is maybe Cult supposed to be used with war gloves? Is that a possibility? Simple Scimitar has been forged overseas. It seems old, but is surprisingly sharp. And with that equipped, we now can press up on the D-pad to unfold a weapon. And we just sort of pull it... oh, okay. I don't regain the shards. That was dumb of me. But we just sort of pull it out of a, like, extra-dimensional space in our wrists, as it were. And then I didn't realize putting it back wouldn't allow me to just redraw it, which is unfortunate. But that does give me some incentive to learn a little bit more of the weapon fighting styles. I don't feel like my weapon deck is like anything coherent right now. It's just sort of a blah. Maybe that'll give me something to work on in between this and the next video. Also, take a quick look at our map. So we've cleared out all of the upper area. It does look like then that this large section... okay, so that sort of rhombus, almost triangle-shaped thing, that's got to be the tower. Right? No. Is that the starting area? Oh man, I'm so confused. Or is the starting area the bridge of guidance? Is that the thing in the center of all of them? And then it led into the tower or this way. But then it would have led to the other thing as well. Maybe I should go back to the bridge and seek the other path? That would make the most sense. And then the tower is last. Yes. Okay. Well, I might fight my way back over there and maybe spend a little bit of time in meditation figuring out my weapon deck as well. I hope you guys are enjoying Absolver. I'd love to hear some feedback from you. If you are enjoying it, of course, feel free to subscribe to the channel. There's lots more there. You could leave a like or a comment if you have anything to say about this or any of my other videos. And I will catch you guys next time.